You know, I want to do it beforehand so nobody fucking bothers me.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, Stream.
Be there for you just in case.
We're going into a meeting here to hopefully end end the war that we've been fighting over the last like week. I know I haven't really streamed at all, but you know, I've made it clear that I do that when I feel like it, and I haven't felt like it. But you know, we're gonna jump back on and have this meeting with the Rose Syndicate, our previous hangarounds.
For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't.
I feel like they're not gonna agree with anything, and they're gonna try shooting.
They don't have to agree to anything. That's what I'm saying. Nobody has to agree to anything other than let's just fucking stop. We don't gotta get into shit. In fact, at this point, I'd rather not get into shit. We don't gotta agree to things. We don't gotta agree like this was right, this was wrong. Fucking forget it. Just leave it how it is. And
we don't even gotta talk at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, honestly, like, if everybody's good with, like, making this pretty short and sweet, I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with, like, having a little bit of a conversation. Hey, they really, really fucking hate Dino. They specifically said they don't want him here, which, I'm not even gonna really broach that subject, because he's not here anyway. So, once again, it's, like, not even worth, like...
I'm always quiet, bro. I don't even really try to start problems, bro. I'm just a very passive person.
Yeah, I don't you know. I mean, you know me, bro. I'll fucking yap forever. So, like, any problem that can be solved standing around talking, I'm fine with. But
you have to bring 2 cars or so many people.
I mean, they said it was only going to be, they wouldn't bring hang-arounds, so it is what it is. If they shoot us, bro, then fucking fuck them. Oh my god! Idiot.
I walk like a chicken. Look.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hello.
Evening, fellas.
Logan.
Is that Jake?
Yeah.
What? Can you speak a little louder? I can't barely hear you.
Yeah, my bad.
You're good. What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Hey, another day in the city, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Alright. I think we're all aware why we're here. I don't think any of us got to be super long-winded unless there's any like shit you guys really feel like we got to get into. But I feel like I don't feel that we need to try to argue or get into.
Be right back.
Alright. We can wait. It's cool.
So how y'all been doing?
Good.
That's good.
It's just been pretty smooth today. I don't know. It's fucking cop holiday or something, but.
I know that feeling, bro. Needing food, Logan. I always be passing out, bro.
I'm pretty sure Scarlett got pulled over for speeding today.
That's honestly like sometimes.
Has been the last couple.
3 cops pulled me over for speeding.
That's
80 and a 50.
They're going 80 and a 50.
You're not even going 100.
Yeah.
They just gave me a warning.
Oh wow, how nice they are, huh?
Oh yeah.
we blew this guy who is all gas no brakes blew by a cop in Legion the other day, and he pulled us over all mad, and then he said we were on the way to the hospital, and he was like, all right, whatever.
I said I got type of a fucking kidney, bro. Let us go.
The fuck you pull us over then? Like, we're wasting everybody's time.
Right.
All right. So back to what I was saying though. Like I was saying, I don't. We ain't gotta like argue this or that or whatever. I think I was talking to Jake about this before, and I think that I think he actually said it right, and that I think we both proved that neither one of us are going to stand down or be pushed over. And said to Naomi today, and I meant it, that you know, aside from like what's been going on, I'm happy to see you guys standing on your feet, standing strong,
Oh hell yeah, I love it.
standing under a united banner. So we're not asking for anything. We're not going to give anything. We're not asking for anything. I think that maybe there's been moments in this that once again, I think we're all maybe learning a bit, and maybe there was moments that mistakes were had on both sides that maybe led to some feelings that never needed to be, and we're not mad at that, and we're going to change some perspective on our end on some things. I think there was some miscommunication early on as well that I think led to some of those issues. But I think that we're at a point now where not only are we just trying to get back on with what we want to do, you know, not that bumping with y'all ain't been fun and been its own thing, but it also, I think you guys know, kind of puts a wedge into everything else you're trying to do, which is frustrating in and of itself. But also just you know, just changes the vibe. So and also, you know, I think that in my opinion, I think walking away from everything that has been so far would be a good opportunity for us to get some perspective on some of what went down, so that none of us repeat some of the steps that we took previously. And say it's a small city, gangs war, gangs unite, changes every day. Doesn't have to be any different with us, but yeah, we're ready to get back to normal day-to-day life, if you guys are feeling the same way we are.
Well, you started off by saying that there's not anything that you're willing to give with this meeting. So, I mean, does that mean that you're closed off to the conversation of what some of these demands for a potential ceasefire may include? Because, I mean, not to be like disrespectful, but if whatever we say that you're not even open to, then I don't know if there's even a point of us having that conversation. If you're open to at least hearing it and going from there, I mean, I would love to talk about it for sure. Because I understand what you're saying. You know, you can't make near as much money whenever you're having to like walk, you know, keep your head on a swivel twice as hard. You know, like, you know, thankfully, like we have a good structure to where like, you know, like the cash flow doesn't slow down, you know, to a screeching halt by any means. But, you know, yeah, we could definitely be making more money than we are right now. So I guess my question is are you at least open to hearing, you know, like what we have to say and then kind of going from there?
Yeah, I mean, we're here to talk. I think more specifically, I mean, when I said we're not giving anything, I mean we're not paying cash or whatever to end this. We're not admitting some sort of defeat. that is really my only point. But if there are
I got you.
things that you guys want to talk about, I don't mean to shut those things out. So, like I said, we're here to talk. So if you got things to say, we're willing to hear it.
Sure. So, kind of starting off and keeping an open mind from the very beginning, would you say that me reaching out to y'all prior to now this is going all the way back to the initial separation, okay? So, let's keep an open mind here. There is very much a thing as forgiveness and moving on and rebuilding. We came to y'all and said, hey guys, this is what we're deciding to do. We're going to break away. There were some hard feelings about it. And I think that those feelings kind of festered until they just kind of came to a head. All the way up until well, let me ask you this: what is y'all's leadership structure? Because I've honestly been kind of confused between the three of y'all talking about Jake, Marcus, Dino. Like, what if you don't mind me asking, what is y'all's leadership structure?
Nothing about that has changed. Three of us are the leaders. We stand on equal ground. We run Skang. Anybody but the three of us are secondary.
Okay, so starting from back then, things got off rocky. That was never our intentions. I really feel like that the way that we came to you prior to y'all making a large decision of buying a house, that was, we didn't know how much impact the four of us staying in the gang had on y'all making that purchase, which is why the urgency of quickly trying to communicate to y'all what our intentions were long term. I felt like that was a respect thing just because of us wanting to talk to you before y'all made a large decision, if us leaving affected that. And instead, we kind of got met with a little bit of hostility, especially that night that, from the way I understand it, that, like you said before, there was feelings involved, and that's fine. I completely understand that. And since that time, all we've been trying to do is stick to ourselves, make our own money, do our own thing. We've been doing not so bad. And then I kind of start hearing, all these rumors that everybody says. And then Dino even confirmed that, first that all four of us got kicked out, that we were rejected from PX. And Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, but even Dino then, said, oh, well, no, not backtracked, and no, these three left after he kicked me out. So I guess to start with, just so that we're setting all the wrongdoing straight, is that something that we can going forward, start being honest with people in the city about as to what happened leading up. We don't have to give details, but imagine how much of a slap in the face it is whenever I come to y'all and say, hey, we're trying to get y'all to dodge a bullet, to be met with the disrespect of y'all trying to tarnish our name. The very same thing that y'all said that y'all didn't want to happen to y'all are turning around and doing to us. Is that not fair?
Alright, so to hit on a couple of the things there, I think that the initial conversation and what happened with the break, to be blunt, has been somewhat blown out of proportion, and I do not want to point fingers or say anything that you guys feel is not valid, because that's not my place to say. But I felt like there were moments in that conversation that took place that night, that certainly things got got a little heated about certain specifics about what we were said. I think that I felt, and I still feel, that we were pretty clear about the fact that leaving to stand on your own, and doing so to and also doing so in the way that you did, because of, you know, it was something that you guys were already kind of thinking about, and then we, like, you know, laid out these, like, big plans or whatever, and you wanted to get ahead of that.
Yeah, I
think,
gave you like 10 reasons, like while we were, yeah, like while the four of us, not just me, but the four of us had all come together, talked about, there was several reasons of why we wanted to leave. But I guess like the question is very simply, are we going to be explaining to people that we or even I was kicked out, or are we going to just say what happened and hey, there was four hangarounds, it just didn't work out. They decided to leave. No hard feelings.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I've always told everybody you guys have left. I'm
All right,
not too sure what Dino has said,
let me get you this.
honestly.
Can I get you to speak up, Jake?
Yeah, my bad. Is that better?
Yep.
So I mean, personally, I've always told everybody you guys left on your own. I'm not too sure what Dino has said. Honestly, half the time in his head he's fucking drunk, and so I
Right.
really don't know what the fuck he's told everyone. And half the time he's in the city a lot later than I am because I have nightmares pretty frequently. So
Right.
I'm always in designated times, but he doesn't have a nightmare, so he's pretty much always here, and he
Right.
speaks to a lot more people.
but
So I
that being
Of course, we also, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you also realize, though, that you are your brother's keeper. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what any one person says. It doesn't matter if Miles says it. Hell, it doesn't even matter if it's one of our associates, which is like y'all's hang around, says it. The gang or the family or whatever, like, you are your brother's keeper. So, like, I guess my thing is, if nobody wants to say that anybody standing here right now has said it, what can we do to, all we want is to be treated right. We want to be treated with respect, and we want to be ultimately left alone. Now, I can't get behind some of the, decisions that's been made recently, but like, there hasn't been a lot of honesty, I guess. And I say that not to directly include you, Marcus, but Jake, with us standing here right now, you know, quite simply, let me ask you, did you pocket wipe the G6 worker?
no, I'll tell you
But hold
exactly
on,
what
hold
I
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Before you answer, though,
uh
I want you to know that I genuinely want to leave this meeting in a positive way. So I want you to really think about that, about just owning up to our sins so that we can actually build a foundation that is not built on bullshit. You know what I mean? So, like, did think back to whenever I was in the jail with Dino
So
and the
yeah, I'm telling you about what
conversation that you
happened.
and I had.
Yeah. So exactly like I told him, and like I talked to James personally one on one. The only thing I took off him was his body armor and his tier 3 G6 thing, whatever it was, like the badge. I was thinking about taking the rest of it because he stabbed Dino, but I decided not to because that'd be fucked up to do to me. And I was really hurt when when you guys took mine. That really upset me. So I can just imagine if I did it to that guy, how upset he would be. Truthfully, like on in my head, on my son's life, no, I did not take his phone. I'm not gonna say somebody else didn't. I don't know, but I personally did not.
Then why did you stand there and tell me in the jail, yeah, he stabbed Dino, so yeah, I pocket wiped him?
Because I just wanted to piss you off, honestly. I mean, ever since I heard you guys, we're talking to Raya. Raya's did some scummy things, like to me, honestly, and it really pissed me off. I wanted to get in you guys, under your blood, honestly, and it wasn't the right decision to say things. But I definitely wouldn't even lie to the Vagos. I mean, because they're not the people to be really fucking around with, honestly.
Then why do y'all keep bringing them into our bullshit? So explain to
So,
me then this, Jake.
Mhm.
And again, Marcus, like, again, uh, nothing but love. I can respect the hell out of your loyalty. I just want to make sure that everyone included here, all 6 of us, are on the same page. So then the Vagos decided to drill us about a conversation that happened roughly a minute prior to the to James calling me, talking about a very specific conversation that took place in this very place that there were no listening ears on. I'm not going to drill too deep into it, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, so I wasn't in the city when I was watching your stream. I know what you're talking about, what you're trying to say, but I was not there for that. So the reason that you were brought into it with Vagos is because Dino was paying 50 grand to the Vagos to not even get into it because Riot was so close to the Vagos. That's what we were under the impression. So we tried to pay off the Vagos so they didn't get in, in the middle of us, with our war. And then that's when they called you. I had no clue at all that you guys even talked about the Vagos or anything.
You just got through saying that you were watching the stream, but you weren't in the city.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I'm
which one is it?
so later that night when you were talking shit about my mole and all that, that's the only time that I was actually in your stream. That me and Dina were. But we are either of us were not in the city.
So Jay, I'm gonna put it like this is gonna sound like I'm being shitty, okay? And I swear to God that I'm not. You kind of let Dino run over you on some things, and that guy has kind of been a bit of a bad influence with you. Because I get it that you and Dino have history. He was a guy that you looked up to. That guy has done nothing but cause problems for the brand that is PX since he has first flown in. Or I take it back. When he first flew in, wasn't so bad. I actually kind of like the guy. Ever since then, all the scummy and toxic shit that has taken place, and especially even the other day with the Vagos, man. Like, tell me that Dino, the way that he conducted himself, is a way that a leader should be conducting business. Speaking for all of PX, the people that y'all are responsible for.
Look, there is going to be, and there have been, and there will be discussions within us as to how we approach things. And we have all had issues with the way that some of us have. I say we all, I mean us three, have had opinions about the way that people have handled things at different times. There have been discussions about how things will be handled in the future. And that has been made clear as to where people stand on that. But honestly, to a certain level, we're not going to just give out or explain to you
Right. No.
how our conversations within us go. And I don't say that to be curt. I don't say
Yeah, I
that
get it.
to be disrespectful to what you feel. But to be, and I understand that some things were brought up that cross lines. And for those things, whether they occurred or not, I'm not somebody that thinks that nearly anything is black or white, and I also don't think that a lot of things just come out of nowhere. So I can understand why maybe some conclusions were reached on certain things. I think that there's also reason for us to believe in certain scenarios that lines were crossed by y'all. But I think that a lot of that kind of stuff came from a bad place, which is the exact kind of thing that we are trying to avoid. These are things that I have told you I don't stand for. I can tell you for sure that Jake doesn't stand for. And whether you want to believe it or not, deep down, Dino doesn't stand for either. And mistakes have been made. And I'm not asking you guys to to forgive him. Not asking you guys to forget or to listen to our truth. But when we talk about, this is not the first time that you have brought up what you hear out there. And fact of the matter is, there are people. Let me kind of just finish what I'm saying.
Sure, because I don't think you heard me, but that's fine.
I don't know, man. I just, if we're not going to be able to have a conversation, then I'm okay kind of getting back to what I said in the first place, in that we don't have to figure out how to stitch the wounds of the past. We can agree that we're not going to try to rub salt in them later, that we're going to step away and not continue to dig at things that don't need to be dug any further. You guys hate Dino, that's fine. There's no reason. If we tell him that it's done, and he is not to, that none of us our hang-arounds, anybody, are to cause a problem with you guys outside of, look, I mean, I can't promise that, like, on a day-to-day thing, shit doesn't happen. Now I can promise they're not going to run up and just fucking rob you for not even just because, you know, I'm fine with telling them, like, red mask, fuck off. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what it is. Leave it alone. Like, find somebody else, do whatever. I'm fine with that too. But you know, obviously, like I said, there are things that happen on a day-to-day, and it is inevitable that our paths will cross again, hopefully next time in a positive way.
Hey, Britta.
Hopefully many positive ways before the negative, because that is just inevitable in this city, that we'll butt heads on something, not even intentionally, just, hey, we fucking are both running at a job and we end up gunning each other down, whatever. My main goal is not only to stop the current situation that's putting us all in a bind, but to also step away from this in a way that, if that happens, those little things that usually gangs get into, where they butt heads and then they step away, that we don't immediately step right back into where we are now.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
My only thing is, like, I'm coming here trying to talk to y'all just like I tried to talk to y'all before. And I feel like anytime, like, that there's anything that y'all don't like to hear, you're not even open-minded to the fact of, you know, for one, even just really listening, if it's not what you're trying to hear. But I mean, like, we're just trying to talk about it. I'm not trying to argue with you. But, like, even if I'm talking about some things with Dino, I don't expect you to give me your playbook on exactly every detail of a conversation that's happened. But for one, I'd like to at least feel like that we're being heard, and at least just acknowledge it, whether you agree with it or not. If you would, though, give me a quick second, and I'd like to sidebar with the rest of us real quick, and if y'all can give us just a second, okay?
Alright.
Of course.
Make sure you're whispering. Brother, it's crazy to me that like I feel like we are listening and like trying to address his points, and he throws like 27 points at us in like one long 15-minute rant, and then you get 30 seconds into like trying to talk, and he's like, "You're not listening. You're not like it's like
There's just some people you just can't with. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I mean, there's people all around the city like that.
yeah, I
I
just
mean, we just need to be led by bygones, by bygones. I explained myself about the phone. You know what I mean? He understood that. If I was gonna take the motherfucker's phone, I would have taken all four of their phones. But I didn't. I didn't take this motherfucking phone. It pisses me off. It like irks my blood. You know. I don't know. There was like 7 people there. Anybody could have snatched anything from them.
yeah, I just listen, I dealt with a lot of types of people in my life. Dealt with a lot. There's a lot of people that don't listen, that deflect, and all that. But I've never. I don't know that I've ever encountered somebody that is like so unwilling to listen to anything that you have to say, like just like stomps all over it, and then stands there and says, "You're not listening to what I say." Like it's like it's saying, "Oh well, you only hear what you want to hear," but it's like, bro, that's what I feel like right now. Like you're not listening to me. Like and it's if we can't get on the same page, then okay, that's okay. We approached this saying that might be the case, and if that is the case, then let's just leave it.
We don't have to be friends. Just avoid each other.
Yeah, like
I mean, really.
it's yeah. I don't. Man, there's like a couple of things about like I want to go off on this dude and just be like I don't know what you want from us. Like, and also saying like, oh, you don't have to give us the whole playbook. Yet like every time we talk to them, it's like they're like digging for information about like, well, like what are you doing about this? What are you like, brother? That's our fucking business. I'm telling you, as I've told you, that like some of the shit that you say happened didn't happen. If you choose to walk and go forward and believe that what happened, then go with God. I don't. There's nothing else I can do for you. But like, if you're just gonna stand there and say that like nothing we say is true, but you just want us to basically like everything he's saying, you just want us to listen is you just want us to agree to everything you have to say and take your side of everything. Like and that's the craziest fucking thing is for him to like
Really
say
trying to catch us up in something, you know?
right and like everything that like he has to say about what we are or everything is like you're doing it right now, dude. Like I every time I tried to like aside from like opening the meeting, every other time I've tried to talk, he stopped me. Have I stopped him? Like one time, have either of us like butted in? Like we've let him talk. He talked for almost this entire time, and then as soon as we try to be like, okay, well let's talk about things, he's like, you're not listening. Like is saying anything other than you're right, Logan, isn't listening. I just
You see, bro, I'm just a quiet person, bro. I mean, really, I try not to argue. I don't like that passive aggressive shit. He wanted to know the truth about the phone. I told him the truth. Now it's up to him to believe it.
yeah. And
I mean, that's it.
if he doesn't want to, then fine. But
I mean, the body. I literally took the G6 workers fucking tier 3 and his body armor. The body armor, I don't even have no more because I got arrested and they took it. And that was a PD vest.
oh, I was gonna say I was like, why'd they take it? But yeah, if it is, then
It's like
How
PD, EMS, and something else.
how did a G6 worker have one of those?
Yeah, right. That's why I thought it was so cool. That's why I took it.
Where you at, huh?
I mean, like, bro.
I don't know, brother.
Damn, that's
I
wild,
didn't
bro.
have a bad feeling about this, but it was also like a weird time to fucking call a sidebar, so I don't know.
I don't know. They're probably gonna be like, all right, this is how it's gonna go. It's, you guys won't listen. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Like,
I mean, shooting at a sit down is like pretty much the scummiest shit that you ever could do. So, honestly, if that's what happens, and if we make it out of here with our memories intact,
mhm.
we're gonna tell the Vagos what happened. But
Yeah.
because I mean, I guarantee you, we tell them like, hey, we called a meeting to meet, whatever. Discussions didn't go well, and then they fucking gunned us down. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like that's some crazy shit, bro. Like you don't do that.
Scummy shit. Yeah.
But I'm not, whatever. I ain't gonna say it's gonna happen until it
I hope
happens.
this goes well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping. I mean, that's what I want.
Whatever. Just let everybody just fucking walk away. Like, what do they want? Like, that's like I don't understand.
They wanted the phone, but guess what? Now that they found out I don't have the phone,
Right.
what the fuck do they want now?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
It's like I think they want us to just like give in and be like, sorry, it was all our fault. We're gonna fucking kill Dino and whatever. Like, it's just like
that's
whatever.
never gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a naive thing to say or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying I don't believe that he's potentially done some scummy shit. But also you gotta. I know he picked up what you're putting down, but you gotta watch your phraseology, dude. You can't just be saying shit like you said.
I thought I worded it good.
You talked about being in the man's stream.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't in the city though, so I told him.
Yeah, but you can't talk about that shit in the city, bro. But we'll talk about it later.
All right, gentlemen.
Yep.
All right. Let me make sure we got your yelling voice back on.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it doesn't. I feel very reluctant to say that I don't think that we are going to come to an agreement, which is more than fine as well. Just to be able to offer like our revised terms, two very small and I feel like very fair requests. So again, for whatever reason that you had 50K on you the other day, what was the reason for that again?
Oh yeah, I didn't get to tell him.
Like, what were y'all about to go do that had like 50K?
Why does that matter?
I was just curious.
We were gonna go buy some shit. I don't know. Like we aside from getting busted in shootouts, we have also, we do jobs. We go to jail. So we have found ourselves necessary to be in a cash business at times.
Okay. So anyways, so we would be willing to call it a draw. There is no clear winner, but at the same time, just for our expenses, since we did take the 50,000 the other day, we would be willing to call it a 50,000 deaded a week from today. And if Jake is willing to go with me to speak to James to set the record straight on if we left or if we were kicked out. And then after that, on our end, I mean, if you guys want, we can just completely forget that y'all exist. Like, we've never been the aggressor on that thing. I feel like we've kind of been doing our own thing, and it just kind of feels like that the hard feelings on y'all side is what led us to war to begin with, which is why that, and war does cost money. So, that's why we feel like it is fair that the instead of the 100 being paid after the war, we'll just call it 50 and set the record straight, and then we're completely good.
You're asking for another 50 from us, is what I'm getting?
Yes.
All right.
Be deaded for 7 days.
Okay. So, as far as setting the record straight with whoever, I can't speak 100% for Jake, but I don't see why that would be a problem. I think that I don't think that that was ever a message that was intentional to be put out by our end. I don't know where it came from, whether Dino said it or not. Whatever. I'm not here to argue that.
I want to tell you about this. Yo, what's good, my nigga?
And there are other things I could argue, but I don't want to. I would rather leave all that shit alone, because I don't see a world where we're going to go deeper into this conversation and come out the other end being like, okay, we're, whatever, we agree on all points, like, and that's fine. Like you said, that doesn't have to be the case, and we can move on from all that and just go about our lives. As far as the 50K goes, no. We're not going to pay to end this. We came here to step away from it, to try to put an end to it, not just because the day-to-day of war is a thing that weighs on us all, but also because all this other shit has whirled up and you want to put it all on us. That's fine. I can live with that. We can move on. But as far as paying money, that's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, then I guess if that's the case, then I guess that we can. What's the score, anyways? Because like somebody said the other day that y'all told somebody that y'all were winning so far, and how do we keep score again? Like, can you explain that to me? Because maybe I'm keeping score a little bit different.
You come to me with these things that we say that I don't hear, so I don't know.
I understand that. I mean, I hate it that you weren't there for the first couple of days. So, I mean, maybe Jake can speak up, and since he's been there since every part, including the part where Dino told all of Vagos what happened.
So
Like, I'd like to hear.
I don't know what happened
Let
yesterday.
the women speak.
So I don't know what happened yesterday. I wasn't in the city for yesterday. But the first day, I think we killed 5 of you. Is that right?
I've never died, so
Or
not me.
4? Or 4?
Two?
Not me.
I know. I think there was.
It was
I thought
2.
there was 2 in the car, and then you were there, Logan, and Raya.
Yeah, that's two.
Yeah, I'm talking about 2 more. I thought there was 4 in the car.
There
There
were,
was
but
four
only
in the
2
car.
died.
Yeah, you only killed 2.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how we keep count because that was like a really confusing part of the terms to me. Was like is it for instance like what's his name, Remy and Raya had their shootout and they both went down, so does that like 1-1 or does that cancel each other out? So like obviously whenever y'all conveniently found us moments after leaving, yeah, y'all down 2 of us out of the 4. So like because it wasn't a team wipe, does that not count or does it count?
Well, James said this is gonna be, I believe, a 3-day war. I'm pretty sure. Is this the 3rd day?
Well, he said he
It's
didn't care how
probably
long it
4.
lasted, but he doesn't want it to drag on, but he was hoping it could be solved within 3 days. But
Yeah.
he said
So
as long as it goes, it goes.
I've never seen war in the way that you are describing it, as a wins and losses. Now, there are always ones that are an obvious landslide, obviously. But from what I have seen and from what I have been told, there have been hits and losses on both ends. Look, if you guys want to walk away from this saying we fucking rolled them and we showed them, once again, I'm not here to convince you otherwise. That's fine. I also don't really care if you go out and tell other people that, and you want to stand on that. That's some gang shit. People do that.
Hey, Britta.
Now, I understand
I can't wait to go home and
that
exfoliate.
Dino's got a big mouth, and I get that he put some crazy terms early on because he lives that life. He talks with a big mouth, and you can have a problem with that too. I get it. And if he says shit that's out of line with me, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him to his face, and we're going to talk about it. So, and we will deal with that as it comes. But I didn't come here to declare a winner or a loser or any of that, but asking to be paid $50K, regardless of it being kind of a whatever amount, is saying that to us to pay to end it would be saying that we came here to take a knee, and that's not what we're doing.
I mean, I think you misunderstand, like, that there's been a lot of cost on our ends, especially since conveniently that the Vagos got involved, which was not something that was done on our end, and because of the repercussions from that. So this is kind of one of those, like, a cause and effect. The other missing 50K would easily contribute to the fact that, whether it was Jake, whether it was Dino, somebody with an X on their mask caused issues for us and our family, and another 50,000 would be able to rectify those wrongdoings. It's not a simple. You're misunderstanding, and I think that you're looking at it that we would
really
take that
not
as a
misunderstanding.
loss, and it's not a loss. There was something that happened with y'all's gang, and another 50,000 is going to fix that. And not to sound pushy about it, but I feel like that is a very diplomatic approach versus, the confidence that we feel that we're going to have of, if we do continue the war and then win the war, then it's going to be 100 set by Dino, one of y'all's leaders.
So what declares winning the war?
Fuck if I know, dude. That's why we'll just keep going until we have to. But, like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how we keep score, because it seems like, I mean, outside of the jail incident, that we understand, like, was a fault. And I apologize to that, Mark. You see how easy that is? Like, if you do backtrack, like, it's okay to backtrack, you guys. Like, mistakes are made. It's not the end of the world if I say, hey, I fucked up. Like, it's no big deal. But I don't really know. It's my first war.
Haven't I done that? I don't. Logan, I mean, you tell me that we don't listen, and you tell us that we're not willing to listen, and then this and that. Yet, like, I feel like every time I try to address points and talk about them, I feel like I've said to you personally, I've said to Naomi, and I've said here that mistakes were made. There were definitely, listen, even things that I don't have any kind of, like, concrete knowledge of, and I'm not even talking even about, like, the fucking crazy shit. I get that, like, scummy shit has happened. All I said was that things have happened on both sides. How is that not diplomatic? I've taken on the responsibility and said that we have made mistakes. I have said over and over again that mistakes were made and that we are going to focus back on that. But I don't know where, like, I feel like we like start to, like, approach a point where we're understanding, and then it's not me saying that, oh, like, this isn't being, dealt with, or, like, whatever. And also, like, as far as the Vagos goes, I don't, like, in what way did their involvement, like, you say that somebody said something and that, like, word got around. Okay. All right. That's fine. You know what? I haven't heard this. We haven't heard it from them. We haven't heard it from other people, but, like, maybe that shit just doesn't reach our ears. That's fine. All right. I'm willing to accept that, whatever. And if you want us, in our terms of, telling the Vagos, hey, this shit is over, You want us to like correct the history of some stuff that and find out like is that what they think? And if that is, then fine. I got no problem setting the record straight. I ain't gonna live on a lie. I'm not gonna do that. So if that's the case, then fine. But like other than that, we don't have direct ties to them. Other than just like knowing their names and like communicating with them like anybody else does. You guys have ties to the Vagos, so I don't. How has it somehow been flipped on us that like we're
Marcus,
the ones whispering to the Vagos? Is like crazy.
You're talking about things that you weren't even around for. So Jake, this is a good time for you to speak up. And that night that we all had to meet at the Vagos.
So for this weekend, how about we take a drive?
Please be honest with me. Did y'all reach out to James and the Vagos and involve them in everything? Yes or no?
I told you exactly what happened, if you were listening. So Raya has a contact with someone in the Vagos. And so me and Dino took it upon ourselves to pay them off without telling them anything else. The only thing we told them was I gave them 50K rolled. I said, hey, listen, if you hear about us and the Rose getting into a war, do not get involved. And they took it upon themselves to contact you.
Well, that's not the story we got.
That's exactly.
Okay.
I'll call James right now and have him come down here. If that's the case.
See,
All I
you want to
know-
involve them again.
No. If you
But
guys are saying that's not the story you told.
You want the record set straight. I mean, I'm not saying we should call him down here this
So
second.
you're gonna
but
summons James to the pier? I don't know how well that's gonna go.
sure.
Well, it's gonna go great because you're saying that he said something else than we said. So I want to figure out if James said something else.
So, all right.
We're not putting words in James's mouth.
I think, again, well, there's a good possibility that after Storm it probably would, but excuse me, I gotta have some of this lovely ginger tea. So, like, my whole thing, however we want to spend it, all I know is I don't even care to circle back. The 50,000, after we took the 50,000 the other day off of you, the other 50,000 is not we want this to make good and make us feel like winners. That would put us at even financially because of what happened from that night and the debts that it's caused us. So it's not a matter of like, hey, we want you to pay this because you guys are losers. Honest, like I could tell you hand to God, like it's not going to be like if we call it a draw, hey man, that's good for business for everybody. We even said like, hey, like fuck it, take a week time to have to pay it back or whatever. But that's what the whole thing that Jake set in motion has cost us was 100,000.
So in the contract of starting this war, what did you ask for?
I asked for the phone back.
So that's the end of the negotiation. That you asked for the phone. I told you, I broke it down to you that I don't have the phone. So that means that your side of the contract is voided. That we need to speak about this.
What the fuck are you talking about? And
You
then
asked
if
for
you
the
remember, James also said that were you even listening or was Dino doing all the listening? Like, come on, man. He then said that, okay, you have to put a price tag on the phone. I said, I don't know what it's worth. He said 150, 100,000. I said, sure, 100,000. So the start of the war, if you guys lose the war, y'all have to pay 100,000. What was ours? Like 75,000? I don't know. Dino kept going down in price. Shit, it got all the way down to like 45,000 at one point. But next time, Jake,
I think
definitely let
it
him do the
ended at
negotiation.
75. I think it was 75K.
Yeah, it took a
So-
dip and went right back up again.
Yeah. So we said 100,000 and it was 75 for you guys.
So let me ask
There's a
you,
lot of-
the guns
Sure.
and the money and everything else that we've lost. So we should eat that, but you guys should get 50 more K, so that
Because
you
we
even
equally
out.
have lost.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Okay.
both lost.
Well, sure.
So-
So and I think that's the point. So then where does it come back to us being uneven?
Because of the debts that were accrued from that night, from the motions that Jake set into place. Outside of that, kind of like that you're kind of being cryptic, I really don't want to go into too much, detail about it. I have a really good feeling that Jake has an idea of what I'm talking about. But this kind of goes back to like where it seems like, Marcus, that you're, I don't know, like if maybe everything hasn't been explained, even from the night that we met with Vagos and everything else. So again, like the 50,000 will, because like you said, like we both lost guns, we both lost shit. So like we've kind of like roughly evenly lost in that department. But there are still additional costs that like we've lost because of, again, things that were set in motion by Jake and Dino, that the other 50,000 would completely, have us right back to where we were. And if the record is straight, then we are more than fine with, like I said, forgetting that everybody, the whole thing even happened, assuming that Dino holds up, y'all's end and everything else. There's not going to be any kidnapping. There's not going to be any rob. We don't rob anybody. So regardless if it's y'all or not, like, I mean, that's never going to be a worry on our side. Like, we're going to go make some moonshine and sell a little bit of weed and occasionally maybe a 24/7 type of thing. And then if y'all can ever find out how I can buy a jet ski, I'm going to be out there hitting those fucking waves. And other than that, dude, I promise you, we don't want this ill will. Like, when we left, there was no hard feelings. Even the first time that I heard that we got kicked out, it's like, fuck it, whatever. And we don't care. I didn't call y'all up. I didn't ask y'all about it because I don't care. I just want to go on living our life. But if I was to walk away, then I'm still going to be in the negative right now. I'm not asking for anything additional. I just want to make it even so that it is truly even on both sides. And then that's it, guys. Like, we can go back to whatever, money making schemes, seed boosting. Have y'all done any bees? We've gotten pretty good at bees. If y'all want to entertain the idea of doing some of those at some time, but so I don't feel like it's unfair what I'm asking. Like, I mean, these are damages that were caused to our family, and that would just make it right. Then there's not going to be any twatter posts. There's not going to be any whatever. It's going to be, yeah, we had a war. We had some good fights on both sides. We came to an understanding. No side won. There's no gang shit. Like, I literally, any time that I have ever said anything to anybody, it has been my word and no bullshit. There is no gang or manipulative shit behind it.
Look, it's not about the money. And regardless if you want to say it's just about evening some kind of debt, the fact of the matter remains that both sides have lost, have gained at times, and lost. And to, at this point, pay $50K, whatever.
Over 7 days.
Yeah, that doesn't really change it for me.
Sure.
It's not, like I said, it's not about the money. I can go pull $50K liquid right now. That's not the issue. It's the principle of the matter that I don't understand where the losses that you guys have taken are counted in the ledger against the losses that we have taken do not. Although I understand that you're saying that you count the $50K you took off me as like a hit against 100K or whatever, but like, as far as I'm concerned, any amount of money to ask for at this point is off the table. So
I need some clarification. I'm sorry. So Jake, did you actually pay the Vagos 50 grand to stay out of it?
Yeah, that is correct. I walked up with 50,000 rolled, told them to stay out of our business.
And they didn't. So because you did
whatever
that,
they did,
they
does not
involved
condemn
us
me.
because you did that.
So whatever they
So
did to you doesn't involve us.
it
And
does,
then
because if
you
you
bring
hadn't
in
gone
our
to them,
name.
you brought our name to them. And then they summoned us there because of you guys, and that's what caused issues. So by you paying 50 grand to them, cost us. If you wouldn't have done that, wouldn't have happened.
100 is what it cost us. So now are you connecting the dots, Marcus?
Yeah, I connected those. You don't gotta talk to me like I'm a child, dude. I connected those dots a
I mean,
long
you
time
keep
ago.
saying how like you don't see how that's y'all's problem when
Right.
this is the reason why I got 100 grand taken from our family, and you not saying like, oh yeah, I can see like where those motions, like said all that. So again, if you can't get behind, I think it's you're not being open minded to the idea that, hey, there were some mistakes that were made. It is what it is. If if you rear end my car and it costs $50,000 in damage, somebody's got to pay that. I don't understand like why we should just eat the cost of the other 50,000 when I could have just said that the 50 that we took off of you was just war. But instead, I tried to at least extend an olive branch and say, hey, you know what? That was a big hit. And we're going to be gracious to say that we're just going to include that to the 100 that is missing out of our ledger because of the things that Jake did. So I feel like pride is getting in the way, and that's a terrible emotion. But I'll be damned if I'm going to stand here and try to say that that you guys, because of the things that Jake done that cost us 100 grand, and that we're just supposed to eat the 100 grand on top of the other cost of war. We're just trying to make it right so we can go back to making money.
Do you guys think that it was a coincidence that when issues with Raya creeped up again, this was back long before
Has
all of this? No. Listen,
nothing to do with the
it
50.
doesn't. It doesn't.
We have
It does.
6 minutes
Doesn't.
until storm.
I understand. So, do you think it was a coincidence that the Vagos just happened to come after you guys? Take your shit
What do you mean?
back when you were still hang-arounds. When the Vagos
Does that
rolled
have
your
it?
shit and pocket wiped you all. Listen, I'm saying this because there was reason. I'm not even saying that I fully agree with the move or that it wasn't a mistake. Not saying that. However, to say that like it was just almost like just like a random thing to occur, there was reason to think that the Vagos were going to get involved because they had previously. So, there was whatever misguided or whatever thoughts that were wrong that led down that path. Like it wasn't like they went there and hired them to put your guys' feet to the fire.
No, but they went there and put our names in their ears.
Marcus, meet me halfway, brother. Jake contacted James. James contacted us. James taxes us because of what we could have had a war. We could have set our own terms. We could have done all that without the Vagos being involved. But because I had to step on their block, I get taxed 100K again. So I don't know what Raya has to do with Jake picking up the phone and calling James. Meet me halfway here, and please tell me that you can see the logic and reason behind my ask and why I'm saying that is the only thing that would take to make us even and make us whole, so that we can go on back to doing our B and A boost and call it a day.
Yes, I understand what you were asking for, and I understand and I acknowledge the difference between just saying this is the amount that we need just because I understand the difference between what usually happens when these talks don't go in a positive way, where somebody who has the upper hand, who has the foot on the throat, says, give us this to take the boot off the throat. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, and I understand that it's not.
No, it's not at all to you.
Look, Um, I don't think that we, based on this, are ever going to be able to see eye to eye on any of this. Whether you want to think it's me not listening, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I think it's, and I'm gonna walk away thinking that I've not been heard. However, because honestly, going back to war is just gonna lead us back around to another one of these conversations, and I don't think another one is gonna go any differently. So what's gonna happen is that I am going to pay you out of my own pocket, not out of the gang, out of my own pocket, the 50K, and that's going to be it. Because I don't want to continue to circle around these things. I think that continuing to circle is only going to breed more of the stuff that is my main concern of avoiding. So, you know what? Whatever. But it is an important
What's up?
distinction that I'm not going to take. I will not pay in the name of the gang. But if you're telling me that it's about setting your ledger straight, and not
Hey, what's
some
happening?
sort of payment of acknowledgement that we
Busy,
are,
busy as usual. Hey, how come you never
you
got
know,
back to me about
bending
that
the
thing?
knee to end it, then
That
fine,
wasn't what we.
I'll do it.
All right. You guys are okay with that?
I
Yeah.
And
am.
that
Yep.
is.
And
me and Jake.
like I've said to you, Marcus, I respect the hell out of you. I really do, and I stand by that. So
I appreciate that. However, I don't know. I appreciate that you guys say this kind of stuff, but it's just, I feel like every time,
I get it.
you know, I thought that when we spoke before it was fine, but I feel like whenever we get into these situations, I know you say, once again, I know you say I'm not listening, and I can't convince you otherwise, so that's fine. I'm okay to leave it as it is, but I don't feel like I have been heard either, so, there's no point in, like I said, just keep digging at a wound that,
We're about to go under.
yeah, I know. So, all right.
Oh, shit.
Jake,
I'll-
are you able to wake up at apartments and then we'll ride out and then I can drop you off at the house or wherever you need, I guess, if you don't have your car there.
No, it'll wash back to our house. We're fine. Oh, well, that was something. I don't know. It's just frustrating. I mean, like every conversation has two sides. And when there are people that are unwilling to move on things, it becomes frustrating. And of course, there's like context or other things that they're seeing that I'm not, that Marcus isn't. So like whatever, that's reasonable. It's just like I don't know. And Logan, I mean, he's a good leader for them, you know. I mean, he's not it's not like he isn't that different from a lot of other gang leaders or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of them that, I mean, are even more are even more like unwilling or just like unmoving. So like, you know, I get it, but it's just man, it's just it's just some parts about it that are just frustrating. I just like I just feel like I'm slamming my head against the wall, and then the wall hits me back and then is like, that's a bad analogy, but um okay. Just updating the email so that like hangarounds or whoever know to not wake up and go fucking start shooting people. And also to keep their fucking mouths shut. These fucking like it's crazy like these. I mean, look, I'm not even like talking about like stuff that happened in the war or whatever. Like, I don't know. Some of that shit might have happened, or even with them telling me it didn't. Whatever. Like, whatever. But like the shit that they say that they hear in the city, like other people fucking chirping in their ears about like this and that. It's like the same thing as it was before. And like I get that like whatever. Like I guess like I mean, I'm gonna talk about it with Jake, and I don't know if Dino wakes up at some point to make sure we're on the same page of it, but like we just gotta just step away from like the whole Raya thing. There's just nothing that we can do. Like she's just gonna fucking say whatever she wants, and for whatever reason, people fucking believe her. Like it's crazy that she just like goes around the city like telling people shit and stirring shit up with like different people, and like she's got this long pattern of doing this, not even that long, but as long as she's been in the city, she's got people all over the city that like can't fucking stand her because of that stuff. And like it's just I don't know. Like, I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe it didn't come from her. Like, maybe she's not involved in that stuff. But it's too fucking coincidental that like every time this stuff comes up, there's always a direct line back to her, including like when they left. And she confirmed that she was the one that was like stirring shit up with the Vagos and stirring shit up with her. Like, she said that she was doing that. Now, if she said that just to like throw a dig at us or whatever, like Jake did about the phone, then okay, like then I could listen to that. And I could be, I don't know that I would believe it, but like I can run with that, you know, and be like, okay, fine. Like I can, even if I don't believe it, I can accept it as whatever and then just move on. But like she ain't even saying that. Like she stands on like what she says, and they just like take what they and like I don't understand how like constantly like they all like just constantly go out of their way to just like say how much like they respect Marcus and they respect the way that like he does things. And like I want to appreciate that because like I think I play the character in a way, you know, that you know, I just because I obviously like as I get better at doing this, obviously I really want to like really get into playing characters that I don't agree with, because I think that that's not only just good role play, but it's just you know, the only reason I didn't do it, and like, and I get that like the idea of like self-insert and whatever is like a dirty thing in RP for a good reason, because and then it's like it's not role play, and that's how, you know, that's how people end up getting like toxic and getting like bad feelings about shit because they're not able to detach themselves. And you know, early on I think that I did struggle with that, but I think that I've come to a good place where even though Marcus now is still like still stands on a lot of like the morals and the backbone kind of being me IRL, I think that I've separated myself decently enough where like this shit um doesn't like leach out of the city really for me anymore. Um and it's tough like on stream too, because like even coming out of that, like obviously like I'm saying like, oh, this is frustrating and this and that, but like I really don't like I don't mean that from like outside of the city. You know, I'm personally frustrated or like have any issues with any of them, because I don't like they all seem pretty cool. I still like hanging out in GK stream. Dude, I haven't done so recently. I don't think he hasn't really been streaming, but which I guess maybe is because he thought that we were stream sniping or whatever. Which I can tell you like is never some shit that I'm gonna do for sure, and I don't think that you know, I don't think that the other guys were doing that. I really don't. You know, there was a time that I thought that Dino was doing that, and I brought that up, but he corrected it. Now, what he was doing, I'm not okay with either, and I think that I made that clear, but that wasn't what he was doing. And as far as like using it to like see where they are and shit, I don't know. It's just like it's It's just weird that like a lot of the stuff that they bring up, you know, is like shit that Dino has felt that they've done too. And as much as like obviously Dino's a hothead and says shit or whatever, like I mean I believe that he's said shit, absolutely. Um and I also like I don't think it's crazy out of the realm to think that he would do some shit that would be seen as like scummy. I think that yeah, he probably would like take a phone or whatever, in like the heat of the moment, but like the guy's been around for like a long time in the city. And, if he's got a feeling that shit doesn't feel copacetic, then I think it's reasonable to think that he's got the experience to. No, I'm not saying that means that he knows for sure what's going on. But I think it's reasonable if he says that like shit doesn't feel right. Now maybe shit doesn't feel right because we're dealing with a lot of inexperienced people, myself included. So maybe it just doesn't feel right because it's just not the same that it usually is. But yeah, I don't know. I really, 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 really didn't want to give in to the 50K. I think it's fucking crazy. I don't think it's that crazy to like. It wouldn't have been that crazy if they stood on it as like, fuck you, like we think we're winning this shit, and you wanted to stop, then pay us. That I could understand. Like I would say fuck you. We wouldn't pay it, and then the war would continue and whatever. But like that would be like some shit that I could understand, that I could like parse, but just like no, it's like to pay for our and like I do. I said to some extent, like I get the annoyance of like the Vagos getting involved or whatever when they didn't need to be. Like I mean, I kind of agree, honestly. But I also. Like, I understand where the thought process was to do that. Put that money away, right? Yeah. Because of the issues with Raya and the Vagos that we've had. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it got to a point where it's just like, there was never going to be fucking common ground that as long as that conversation continued to spiral, and like eventually I was going to get pissed off. Like I was pissed off, but like it really took a lot for me to fucking swallow a lot of like some shit that I wanted to say. But honestly, like it's good because it wouldn't have been heard. Like and that's like the most frustrating thing. Is just like to like be completely disregarded, to be stopped and like cut off multiple times, and then be told like I'm the one that's not listening or whatever is crazy. Like that's like the most infuriating thing I can possibly imagine. But I don't know. I just, I said before, I said as we were pulling up to do the talk that we should just let them say whatever they're going to say. Doesn't matter if we agree with it. We don't have to agree with it. We can just let it go and move on. Like, the gang is growing. We're getting more people on board. We can get ourselves in a better spot. We can get back to doing jobs. And inevitably, chances are, this shit'll spark up again eventually. Whether it's a continuation, like I just like the fumes are still in the air. It definitely feels, and like I'm not interested in throwing a spark to it again. I don't think Jake is. I think Jake's pretty fucking done with it, honestly. I get that, like, you know, Dino's a hothead or whatever, but I think he also, even if he thinks he doesn't want it to end, it needs to end, so whatever. And we can just go back to focusing. Back to focusing on growing us, getting our money back up or whatever. I'll pay this fucking idiot $50K or whatever sometime this week. Obviously, I'm not doing that shit tonight, because we got money to make. But I'll make that money on my own. Or if it does end up coming from the gang, then I ain't gonna tell them that. I mean, I'm not gonna tell Logan and them that. Obviously, if I took 50K from the gang fund, I would obviously tell the gang. But I don't know, man. It's just a weird, situation, and like Marcus still just doesn't get it. Just doesn't understand. Whatever. I don't know. All right. I don't know if Jake is waking up immediately or at all, honestly. I mean, I assume that he is, but I'm gonna run to the bathroom and I'll be back in a couple minutes. If Jake doesn't end up waking up, then we'll probably go do some tow or something for a while and make some money, or hang around her around. Maybe we'll try to do a job or some shit. Yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Oh, also, by the way, just as a note, no music right now, obviously. Something happened when I tried to update my OBS. Basically, like, I was trying to add the alerts back in so that I would get, like, follower alerts and stuff like that. Just so that, even less so for having the, like, ring, like, notification and all that shit. I don't even, like, care about that. It's more so about, like, actually noticing when that stuff happens, because there's been times that, like, you know, like, I don't notice something pops up in the activity feed, so it's even more so just even, like, a thing so that I notice, which I guess is the original point anyway. But anyway, like, when I did that update to OBS, it, like, fucked up the music thing, the audio splitting. So my last couple VODs had the fucking music in it, and I didn't realize it. So a bunch of that shit ended up getting fucking muted, which is annoying. I did export them over to YouTube. I gotta double check and make sure that they didn't get, like, fucking copyright claimed, honestly. Even though, like, I mean, a lot of that stuff was muted anyway. So, like, hopefully it's not a big deal, but I might end up just having to shit can those VODs and call it a day or whatever. But yeah, I still gotta. I wasn't in totally, like, planning on starting the stream up tonight, but then, like, the meeting was gonna happen and whatever, so, like, I wanted to have that. So I just gotta, like, I tried to, like, fix it a little bit the one day, but, like, the setting to do it, like, seems to be gone now, even though I removed the thing that fucked everything up. So I don't know, I gotta look into it more. But anyway, I will be right back. So I apologize for the just fucking silence, but it is what it is. Okay, fix one thing about the OBS that was annoying me. Alright, you know what? Actually, let's run over to City Hall and take a look at our bills. Because that fucking thing has been saying that the bills are gonna update in one day for like 3 days, so hopefully it finally has. Honestly, just curious to see how much it is, although this first bill might not be like fully indicative of what it's actually going to cost every month. Really, that's going to be probably the next one, because that'll be a full month. And like, I mean, even more so than us not having the house for a full month, it's only been, you know, pretty recently that we started drawing as much power as we are, which the solar panels will help offset that some amount. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's like almost 33. Very good to know. That consumption's probably going to go up. But we can assume that the taxes are going to stay the same, so that's fucking 30 grand a month. Fucking Jamie, like, you know, oh, I said, oh, it should only be like 4 grand a month. I was like, I fucking knew that wasn't the case. No fucking shot. Good to know that little difference in the drop allows you to actually drop down and not just face plant if you like you do if you jump over the rail there. So we'll have to pay that like one day this week. I don't know, but like I'm assuming that falling a month behind is what triggers it to lock everybody out of the house. So I assume that we have this month to pay last month, so I'm not in a rush. Now obviously if they fucking wake up one day and they hit me up on Discord like Marcus, the house is locked, and then like fuck, then you just gotta go pay it. But honestly, it's not even bad to just wait and find out. Wait the whole month to find out if it locks us out, but at least, you know, give it a couple of days. But hopefully we'll be able to get back to making money. We're not gonna be taking fucking gun charges and shit. God damn. I'm out of fucking 15. Cane's cheese, kimchi, pickles, sliced radish, diced tomatoes. My favorite donut fillings. Alright. So what can we do? If nobody wakes up, I'm probably not going to be on super long. Play it by ear, but Jake actually wakes up and fucking hang-arounds wake up and want to get into some shit, then alright, but otherwise we'll probably just do some chill tow for a bit. I might not even leave the stream up. Just chill. So I know that I haven't really streamed much. To be fair, I really actually haven't even been in the city that much. Because I was fucking sick. That fucking food poisoning, dying. So even when I have been in the city, it's usually been like short stints or whatever. That's right, some shit I gotta get done. You know, even the times that I have been around and like got into stuff, it's like, you know, I'm like always like kind of stuck because I like having the stream, and I like having like the Jesus shit. That's a lot of towers. You know, I like doing. I do like doing the stream a lot of times, as well as like I like having the VOD and everything. But to be honest, like I also really like just not fucking thinking about it and just just enjoying playing the game and doing the role play. And also like when I'm doing stuff like you know, it's just like it's not really that interesting. And if I didn't have the stream up, I could, you know, be watching the stream while doing this stuff, which is more entertaining than sitting here talking to myself, so probably gonna do that, but we'll give it, I want to give it a little bit just in case fucking Jake wakes up in the next 10 minutes and calls me. We're gonna get into some shit then. 16 millimeter. I could buy that shit myself. I probably would buy one for the tailgater, but really like a 70 mil, somewhere in there that I'd like to have for the tailgater, but like 60 would be good too, just to try to boost the acceleration, because the acceleration's fucking dog shit. And honestly, the biggest problem with that tailgater. And it'd be nice to start using that some if it didn't fucking suck to drive, because the Astron's got 2 VAPs on it now, so. And the Gauntlet's got 1. And honestly, the second strike on the fucking Astron was kind of bullshit, but. Legal aid, who is now conveniently apparently a hang-around or whatever of our fucking Rose Syndicate friends, but was at least a legal aid at one point, said that it's probably not even worth fighting because it's like a umbrella charge or whatever, but I don't know, maybe if I see there's like a lawyer around or something, maybe I'll ask them for a second opinion. Because, I mean, shit, if I can fight it and get the fucking strike taken off, I mean, that'd be huge. Like I said, it might just be...
You like that?
An umbrella, or it might just be like an automatic thing that happens because it was a jewelry store, so it's just automatically a violent crime, even though we didn't have a hostage and didn't actually do anything violent, which, if that is the case, it's kind of fucking stupid, but, you know, if that is what the DOJ says, then it just is what it is. Which I don't really fully know, how, like, the DOJ and stuff works here, whether they have some autonomy to decide that shit at all, or if it's just like completely mandated by like admins or whatever. I don't know. Obviously a lot of that stuff is pretty different between the people who are considered like trusted role players as opposed to us filthy fucking randos.
Yo, bro.
Yo, what's up, man?
My car is in the water.
Oof. That sucks. Let me throw this tire on real quick, see if I can pull it out for you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
We need your winch.
Yeah, I hear you got a dunk.
Yeah.
Huh? Down this
Yeah,
way. I'll pull it over.
Yeah, you don't know.
Shit happens.
Just put it by the way. Just go down here, and I'm gonna take the winch.
Alright.
A little bit. You're good. You're good. Okay, stop. Down the plate.
Fucking viewers. See if it'll attach.
Up the plate. Up the plate. Put the plate up.
Yeah, hold on. Hop out, bro.
Thank you. We're gonna. Yeah.
Yo, bro.
You got repair kits?
Nah, it's good. It's good.
Alright.
Come.
Yeah, he's gonna
Thank
give you some.
bro.
Oh, that's cool, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
You got it, guys. Good luck. Hello?
Yo. Is Jake awake? I was trying to give him the call to see if he wants to run over and parlay, but JD is trying to see if where James is at, if he's even available right now.
No, I haven't heard from him as of yet.
That's not good. 'Cause we're already okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's somewhat hit or miss
Busy.
after the storm. It depends. But I haven't talked to him at all, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that means that you'd be up. Do you want to ride with, or do you want to just meet me there? I mean, right now we don't even know when we're meeting. JD is contacting James because I don't like to contact James directly. But just to also let him know war's over and all that, and go back to making money.
Yeah. Just if it's gonna happen tonight, just let me know where, and I'll be there.
All right. It might be pretty soon, but I don't know. And as far as the money, like, are you able to just wire it, or do you want to do cash instead? What would you like to do on that?
It's probably not gonna happen tonight either.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah. I thought you said that you were going to do it today. That's fine. Like, by all means, take the full week. I don't care. it's not supposed to be a burden type of thing. So
Yeah, I don't really care what
I
it
would-
is. So, yeah, I just, honestly, I kind of thought that we were done on this night. I was kind of just like doing my own thing, but obviously, like if they wanna meet and just get that shit out of the way tonight, that's fine. I'll be there. You know, I'll get you the money sometime the next day or two, most likely.
no rush on that. So all right, well I'll update you whenever I've got something.
Alright.
All right, be safe. Oh hey, you
What's up?
still there?
Yep.
All right, so we've told everybody to stand down, but so we can't officially say, hey, the war's over. You know, stand down. Nobody fire off shots. Leave everybody the fuck alone. Go back to making money. Correct? I just wanted to like clarify.
Yeah, I told my side to stand down.
Okay. All right. I'll put the word out.
Alright.
All right. Bye.
Alright. Well, I guess it's not the worst thing that I didn't stop the stream, because I guess maybe this fucking conversation's gonna happen. Which is, like, fucking stupid as it is, but I do get that it wasn't them that rolled the Vagos in on this shit. But I also understand why Jake and Dino did what they did, so. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell this guy, yeah, I don't have the money right now. It's just going to be, I'm not fucking doing it tonight. Deal with it. Fucking bullshit that they even think that they're owed 50K, but, like, whatever. Honestly, like, I'm just taking the L on this to just, I don't want to fucking deal with it anymore. Not even that I don't want to deal with the war anymore, because, like, if that had to go on just because, then, like, fuck it, whatever. But the war going on just means that we gotta have another fucking conversation. And I'm just not interested in having another conversation with these people about this shit. Like, I'm just not, so. You know.
Hello.
Hello?
Sorry. Earphone. All right. I forgot what the place is called. The Vagos Apartments.
The Barrio, yeah.
Barrio. Yeah. So we can come by.
I gotta go grab my car. I'll be there in like 5 minutes.
All right. I'll see you in a bit.
See ya. to go to the clothing store. Also, I don't want to wax my car real quick.
I do appreciate y'all's like advisement during the term setting because yeah, I was completely, I guess, not prepared. But yeah, appreciate it.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
What's
Good
poppin', what's
evening.
poppin'?
So I'm not really like too
Is that Dewey?
It's not Dewey. Oh, that's funny. I'm not too like filled in. So who wants to end the war? Or is it mutual?
It's a mutual ending.
It's mutual. So that being said, I want to tell both of you, look at this as a learning experience. You both get, you both want to mutually end it. Use this as an opportunity to maybe start doing some shit together. Build a bridge, bro. Hey, you've been shooting them enough times. You know their names now. Y'all been shooting them enough times. You know their names now. Use this to build, bro. War isn't always the worst thing in the world. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that being said, is there anything that y'all been taking from each other you need back or anything like that? So there's no more like, after the war ends, you don't have to come back to each other and be like, oh, I wanted this. You took this from me.
No, I think we're straight on that.
Yeah, we're square there. Um, there was one kind of verbal thing that I just kind of wanted to clarify so that way we could all go forward.
All right, go ahead.
This is kind of be where you come in, Marcus. I need you on this one.
So you're talking about, so apparently, from what I have been told by this gentleman, is that, word got to his ear that somebody on my end had been speaking out of turn, saying that our original relationship, broke off in a one-sided way, i.e., us telling them to take a hike. When that wasn't the case, they walked away. I don't know who. I think they have an idea of who they think said that. If if somebody did say that to y'all, said that specifically, then that ain't what happened. But I also think that, and I think that you guys will know this too, that sometimes shit just stirs up in the streets. People say shit, things go from one ear to the next, and
Telephone is a thing.
yeah, and people like talking shit. So I don't really know where that came from specifically, but I can tell you that that didn't come from my mouth, and it ain't the case. So if there is some idea that that's how that shit went down, that isn't how it went down. They walked away. They didn't get told to leave. So
Okay.
as far as setting any records straight, I ain't got a problem doing that.
No, I respect the clarification. I think he's talking to us.
Quick question.
But yeah, go for it.
Marcus, how many leaders do y'all have if you're the leader? Because weren't Jake and Dino also saying they were leaders?
Yeah, the three of us make up the leadership.
Okay, so it's like a council type shit.
Like 30, 30, 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We work with each other. Stand on equal ground.
I was just clarifying that. I didn't know if somebody got taken over type shit.
No. I mean, if if one of us speaks, we speak for the gang. And if we got a problem with something one of us is saying, then they're gonna get told that, like we would anybody else.
Word.
I hear you. Glad you cleared it up.
Did y'all have payments or shit, or since it's mutual, you just kind of calling it where it's
Dead
at?
net walking away from each other.
Yeah, as far as the actual war goes, yeah, we're just gonna let sleeping dogs lie. Personal stuff aside.
Alright. So, I think y'all are, I think y'all are both set. No more shooting at each other. When it comes to robberies, it comes to robberies. It's a bank truck, it's a fucking ox run, but leave that shit at that. That's what I was saying.
Yep, same page.
Alright. Anything else y'all need from me?
I'm good.
All good here.
Yeah. Dap up, bro.
Hug each other.
Yeah.
Y'all bro hug, come on.
Give me a second here. Let me
You better make a gangster ass handshake right now.
Who got the quick draw?
Give him a kiss.
Fuck up, jockey.
give me a second here.
Jockey, I can go make you run around the bar if you want.
Good. That'd be good.
Do y'all need help?
I think we got it. Just waiting.
There you go. Hey, I'll put it like this. gain a little respect from me for both of you. You know, taking a mutual, you know, letting it both die on both sides. You know, big move. So
Some people drag shit out way longer than it needs to be. So
Yeah, I ain't trying to go down on some serious shit, you know. Fuck it.
all right.
I will say that Marcus here, I mean, he's kind of always stood on principle, stood on business. He's a pretty honorable guy. So I'm glad that him and I were able to have a conversation.
I am too. I'll be with y'all. Y'all need some shit from me. Y'all, you know, guide and shit like that. You know, both of you got my phone number, so.
Yeah, appreciate you. I'll try to
All
get up
right,
with
man.
you tomorrow or something to kind of follow up with that other conversation whenever things kind of. We got to get back to making some money first, though.
Nah, I feel that, my brother.
All right, guys. Thank y'all again, and y'all stay safe. All right.
You too. Y'all need some guidance, let me know. Y'all stay blessed.
Yes. Yes, sir. You too.
Respect.
wait, Logan, come back real quick. James.
Whatever. I like that he was like trying to like hint at the idea that I'm like paying these guys 50K. I was like, bro, I'm not fucking. This is exactly what I meant about this shit being, that money being like personal and not being a fucking gang thing. Is that I'm also not fucking. I'm not gonna stand there and fucking tell the Vagos that like we're paying to end it. Is that we ain't. That ain't what's happening, and I was not gonna let that carry. But you know, whatever. Obviously, like I still don't love that they were like even involved or whatever, but. I'm not even sure if that was James or JD that we were speaking to directly. I'll have to confirm that. It's like, y'all got my number. I don't actually. I don't think we've really talked before, but yeah, I think that was about as good as that could go. You know, we avoided fucking talking about the money. And I didn't want to dap that motherfucker up, but whatever. Like I said, like I'm still of the mindset of like, just fucking let this shit go. It's just like getting into like fucking weird toxic shit, and I just don't want it. So fuck it. Oh, I keep forgetting it's fucking Sunday night. Tomorrow, man. Fucking sucks. Just like feels like blink of an eye, and these weekends just go. I was on super late Friday into basically fucking into Saturday, and then slept some of the day Saturday, and then was around last night, and then I've been around a good bit today, and I like want to go do tow to like make money, but like I'm also kind of feeling like I might just pack it in, honestly. Bang, bang, bang. Alright. Yeah, I think I might just fucking get some food, wind down, not stay up fucking all night. Because that's definitely gonna be, that's like a focus of mine that I've kind of put on myself the last, kind of after Friday, because it was another time that I was fucking in the city until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of just have to accept the fact that I can't do that shit anymore. Like, I just, like at the time, like I got the fucking young 20, you know, 6, even like 14 to like 25-year-old in me that like just doesn't fucking matter. Don't sleep, go to work, do whatever, like just, you know, whatever, be tired but be fine. But and it runs me down so hard now, like to like work on, to live on like so little sleep. It just, I don't feel good. You know, like my fucking like chest hurts, like I feel awful. So like, and then the problem is like I do that and it's like great for one night because like we get a bunch of shit done, but then like I end up not flying in for 2 days because I'm like trying to like get my shit right. So I'm gonna try this week. You know, I mean, if I can be on during the day, great. To like do like tow and that kind of stuff, which obviously I won't stream that, but just to get that shit done, that would be good. And if I'm gonna like do stuff on stream, like after work or whatever, I want to try to like start getting on sooner after I finish work, instead of like doing what I want to do typically, which is go fucking sleep for 3 hours and then be like up super late, which ends up just like fucking me on the next day. So I try to get on earlier so I can get my hours in, get stuff done. You know, obviously there's days where like Jake will be around or not be around, but like Dino should be able to be around a lot of those times, so we can get shit done. And then like start, you know, trying to make sure I'm getting off like even at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, like whatever, still better than like. It's also just hard, like so many times, especially when like end the night on like a big job or whatever. Like even when I get off, I'm like fucking wired and I can't sleep, and I don't go to sleep till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Only sleep a couple hours before work, and then I'm just like fucking wrecked. So I can't keep doing that to myself. It's just I can just feel it dragging me down. So that's gotta stop. Sucks. I wish that I was young, but I'm not. So all right. Like I said, I'm gonna call it here. You know, it's been even before the stream started, it had been a pretty eventful day. We robbed a 24/7, no cop chase, no white card, which sucks, and we only got like, you know, like a little over 11 grand from it, but that all went straight into the gang fund. Ow. Oh, we can put our solar panel up, actually. We'll do that. But, yeah, got almost 100 grand in clean 44 in Washed is pretty chill. I think I put something in here. Oh, my chips, that's right. I saw those earlier and I was like, oh, somebody just like, I guess stole some chips and put them in here, but forgot. Those are my chips that I put in here so that they wouldn't get fucking yoinked. So we can put those back. Let's go throw this up on the house. The other one might need to be cleaned too. I can tell if that's Air 1 or... Yeah, that's Air 1. Something going on in the garage over there. Or they're parked in there and whatever was happening City Hall. Get this thing to fucking be straight. Please? That's fucking annoying. That one went on straight. Yeah, look how fucking straight that one is. Why don't this one fucking... I hate how shitty that looks, but... I don't know what else to do, so... Or you used to like have to like clean these off. Or maybe you don't anymore. Maybe they just slowly go bad. This like I feel like before like isn't this like let's just say like very good or some shit? Yeah, excellent. So this one's already gone down to good. Swore there was a thing that said solar here, but it wasn't. It's not there. Fucking crazy. So I assume that was the same as before. That ate the blueprint, right? Yeah. Blueprints almost did too. How many of these things do we have? 4, so we need another 4 to be able to make one anyway, so... we only have glass to make 1. Materials, so I'll have to do some sanding, so maybe we'll do that. Hopefully if Dino's around tomorrow, maybe we can bang out some sanding, because from what it seems like doing it by yourself is really not, like, not the plague. It seems like you don't get nearly as much stuff, like, not only just from the fact that you're doing it by yourself, but it seems like mechanically, like, they give you a lot less to really, like, incentivize doing it in a group instead of doing it solo, because, I mean, like, you know, they really don't want you doing much of anything solo if possible, because, you know, it's kind of the whole fucking point. Alright, we're gonna call from here, so for stream. Catch you on the next one. If, you know, if I'm around doing shit tomorrow, maybe we'll stream, but as always, and what will continue to be, I only gonna, do that shit, I'm only gonna do this shit when I fucking feel like it, and that's just how it's gonna be, so. All right, peace out.